Mr Deputy Speaker, is the pace at which you try to get the deficit down. And if you try and get it down too fast, as the Chancellor tried a year ago, it blows up in your face because growth slows down, taxes slow down, unemployment goes up, you end up borrowing £158 billion more. The right thing to do is a staged and balanced approach, get this economy moving, get people into jobs, get the deficit down. It's the only plan which will work, Mr Deputy Speaker. And let me make an offer to the Chancellor. It's not too late to change course. The deepening euro crisis makes it more important than he sees sense. If he does so, then we will back him. A new start, a second attempt. We read in the Telegraph today about the Chancellor's recent efforts to land a plane at Manchester Airport. On a flight simulator, I should add, to reassure those. Too rapid a descent. A crash landing on the runway, narrowly missing ploughing into the terminal building, too far, too fast, Mr Deputy Speaker. No surprises then, but the Chancellor had a second go. With a little help from the experts, a steadier hand on the controls, things work better second time round. Perhaps there's a lesson for the Chancellor in that story. Perhaps he should take my prescription. After all, Mr Deputy Speaker, he claimed last week that a balanced plan to get our economy moving, to get the deficit down, was like the promises of a quack doctor selling a miracle cure. But, Mr Speaker, wasn't the Nobel Prize-winning economist Paul Krugman closer to the truth when he described Britain's experiment in austerity as being like a medieval doctor bleeding his patient, observing the patient is getting sicker, not better, and deciding that this calls for even more bleeding? Mr Deputy Speaker, the patient is crying out for a second opinion, and all we hear from the Chancellor is a call for more cuts, a call for more leeches, Mr Deputy Speaker. I have to say, though, I was thinking... I won't, because I've gone too long. I've been thinking about... and there are other important speeches to be made today. But I was thinking about what other doctors the Chancellor resembles, and I concluded Voltaire's giant. I'll take an intervention from anybody on the front bench who knows Voltaire's giant doctor was. Voltaire's great doctor, Dr. Pangloss. It doesn't matter what the evidence says. It simply strengthens Dr. Pangloss's opinion that his philosophy must be right. Britain's rock-bottom gilts, a sign of success and not a damning verdict from the markets on the prospects for growth. Rising unemployment, not a bad thing, just creating more space for the private sector-led recovery when it finally arrives. The worse things get in the rest of the world, the better for Britain, because we are the only safe haven of prosperity. In this Chancellor's Panglossian world, everything is working out just fine, Mr Deputy Speaker. But in the real world, with the world economy darkening, with the UK now forecast to endure stagnant growth and rising unemployment this year, next year, and the year after, this Panglossian Chancellor is making a catastrophic error of judgment, refusing to learn the lessons of history, refusing to even understand the lessons of economics, refusing to shift to a more balanced plan. He got it wrong 18 months ago. He is getting it so badly wrong today. Out of his depth, out of touch. Isn't it time he changed course before it is too late, Mr Deputy Speaker? Yeah.